in with new information on a story of survival. A pilot and her husband rescued after their small plane crashed into Narragansett Bay this weekend. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Kim Kalunian. We spoke with the pilot yesterday about those frightening moments. Today, 12 News reporter Alex Torres-Perez traveled by boat to the scene of the crash and joins us with an update on what happened. Alex.
I called 911 and I just gave them, they asked my location. It was a little bit comical. I was like, I'm in the bay.
Pilot Alysia Larson can laugh now that she's back home with her husband Paul after their date flying in the skies took a nosedive.
We were so close to the runway when I suddenly sought to add a little bit of power to gain a little bit of height on my approach, and I had no power.
Training quickly kicked in as Alysia made a mayday call and braced for impact. Miraculously uninjured, they got out of the plane and stayed on its wings until it was completely underwater, forcing them to swim.
Just that instinctual, like, what do we have to do next? What's the next thing? It all happened so quickly. I think the plane went down in less than 5 minutes.
Thankfully, DEM Environmental Police was just 4 miles out.
I just put the lights on and just went straight to the call.
The captain was able to spot the couple swimming in the bay, pulling them to safety, and within 15 minutes, they were all back on land.
There was a moment where I was like, I'm not sure if we're gonna make it. And then I'm like, nope, we're not gonna die today.
Out here at the crash scene, you can see the plane is completely submerged underwater, so the Coast Guard is setting up these buoys to warn other boaters in the area as they try to get that plane out of the water. There are concerns about the 30-gallon fuel tank on board. No pollution has been reported as crews work to remove the plane. It's unclear how long that process will take or how long the NTSB's investigation into the crash will be. DEM rescuers just glad no one was seriously hurt.
It's certainly a great outcome. Like I said, it's not often that you have a plane crash where no one's seriously injured, so we were happy with that.
Reporting in North Kingstown, Alex Torres-Perez, 12 News.
The small plane that crashed off Quonset Point Saturday remains under the water.
12 News reporter Alex Torres-Perez was out on the water with the DEM today. She joins us from the site of the crash off of Quonset State Airport.
Out in the water here at Narragansett Bay, you can see the Coast Guard out here actively working to get that plane that crashed over the weekend out of the water. It is currently about 35 feet underwater, and miraculously 2 people inside of that plane survived thanks to the quick actions of DEM rescuers.
We often have boat crashes and boat accidents, but a plane crash is a new one for us.
An unusual call this weekend after a Piper aircraft crashed into the bay near Quonset State Airport. The pilot and her husband uninjured during impact, but forced to swim after the plane became submerged in a matter of minutes.
You know, I definitely asked God to watch over us and help us.
Thankfully, DEM Environmental Police were able to get to the scene quickly.
You know, they started waving so you could, you knew there were people in the water.
They threw out a line and pulled the couple on board their boat, taking them to the shore within 15 minutes of getting the call.
You know, they were cool, calm, collected. Even when they got back on the boat, the first thing they did was analyze what they could have done better, which is very surprising to me in a stressful situation like that.
The plane remains on the seafloor as the Coast Guard works with the owners of the plane to remove the 30 gallons of fuel on board and avoid any pollution. It's unclear how long that process may take, but DEM Environmental Police are just grateful they were able to be at the right place at the right time.
You know, we were preparing for the worst and we found the best.
An investigation is underway to try to figure out why that plane crashed in the first place. Reporting in North Kingstown, I'm Alex Torres-Perez, 12 News.